What's up, y'all? It's Jasmine.
And what's up, y'all? It's De'Viar.
And you are now tuned into Stories of the Streets.
And as always, Stories of the Streets is sponsored by Black Scent, the New Black Collective, Change Waco, and of course, Rogue Media. And today we have a very special guest with us, Rocco Da Barber. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, you just did.
Yeah.
No, it's me, Rocco Da Barber, owner of Rock My Style Barbershop in the Food Box Waco.
Businessman.
Cool. Yeah, thank you for coming on. Take your time away from the Food Box. The Food Box is open only on Sundays, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so he's taking a couple minutes away from that.
You should just do the shameless plug.
Yeah.
Hours, location.
Yeah.
We just updated our hours from 12 to 4. We was open from 11 to 3, and we noticed that 11 o'clock hour wasn't nobody showing up. And then 3 o'clock when we were about to close, everybody would pull up. Yeah. So beginning of the new year, we changed our hours from 12 to 4. So 12 to 4, 200 Hillsborough Drive, right next to the barbershop, Rock My Style. Pull up on a Sunday and get some Food Box.
Not a cut, just the food.
Right, because they try it too. Like, you come out, no, this is not about haircuts today.
Not right
it's
now.
About food.
The food. Okay, so I guess my first initial question would be, I first got put on to you as a barber. So kind of what inspires you to kind of get into, cutting hair and stuff like that? Like where did you kind of, I guess, peep that you had a little talent for it and wanted to do that, like make money for it and own your own barbershop and all that?
It kind of just happened. Never was something that I wrote out or dreamed to do. When I was in high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do, other than I know I didn't want to go to college and I didn't want to join the Army. Yeah. So I didn't know what I wanted to do, but a friend of mine, Chaz Cuffey, was going to barber school. And at the time, we was extremely close. So I was like, well, you going to barber school, I'll go to barber school too. Yeah. And so that's what happened. That's how I got to barber school. And from then, I was working at Baylor in high school. I quit Baylor to go to barber school in Dallas. When I was done with barber school, I came back to Waco, got my job back at Baylor and was working. And the dining hall that I was working in, the athletes would come and eat, and then they got wind of me cutting hair. So I started to cut their hair, and then that just kind of like grew. The demand of me cutting hair grew more than me being at Baylor. Yeah. So I kind of just got thrown in the game.
And ran with it.
Yeah.
So then where did Rock My Style come from? When did you start that?
So Rock My Style came from, the actual name came from, I guess it was a play off of Rocco, of course, but my dad actually came up with the name. So my daddy was incarcerated majority of my life, but we still had a relationship through letters and visiting and stuff like that. Yeah. So when I told him, he knew I was in barber school, of course, and so he would always like play off names of different things that we could name the barbershop, and Rock My Style was the one that kind of stuck with me when my great-grandmother, she was getting ready to pass away. And that's who I was the closest to. Mm-hmm. And so I read off a list of names, and she liked Rock My Style the most. So that's what I decided to go with. Yeah. But even at that time, it was just a name. Like I wasn't in plans of thinking to open up a barbershop. I didn't think that I could open up a barbershop. I was only 20. But my mom had a friend in Dallas who said, like, hey, Rocco, I'm going to come to Waco. I'm going to find a spot and I want you to run it. And I said, okay, cool. And so she came to Waco and she found the spot and she said, it's too small for what I want to do, but I feel like you can do it. And at the time I was like, no, I can't. Like, I can't do that. She was like, yes, you can. I don't think I have to do it. Cause I was cutting in my apartment at the time. And she was like, the same thing you're doing at your apartment, just, pay the bills and cut hair. And so I started out, that's when I was over on Memorial. So I started on Memorial and that's how I started. That's how Rock My Style became storefront, I guess you would call it, brick and mortar or whatever. That's how the Rock My Style brand got started.
Oh yeah.
How many years later is it? 10, 12?
12. I started in 2010.
That's
so
crazy.
June 22nd will be 12 years.
That's cool. Are you doing anything? Are you going to do like a little...
So I'm actually getting married this year.
Okay, congrats.
So, okay, I seen the pictures.
Congrats.
We be trying to keep personal business, but I seen it.
Yeah, I'm getting married, and I didn't even realize that I won't be here on my anniversary for the shop. So I might do something in June, because June 12th, which is my actual wedding day, that's also the anniversary for the Food Box. I was like, dang, I picked the time to do this. So June just going to be a turn-up month, looks like. So I'm probably going to do something in the month of June, the beginning or the end or something like that, to celebrate it all.
Yeah.
Well, it's a big year for you.
Yeah.
1 year anniversary of the food box.
Right.
Married.
And see, my thing was, my 10-year anniversary, I wanted to do it like real big for Rock My Style, but that was the COVID year.
Yeah.
So
COVID
I had always dreamed about because I'm actually more into like the event part of pulling people together and celebrating than I am the actual cutting hair. So I was like, oh, this is going to be an excuse for me to put on a big something. And then COVID killed that. And so
it's a dope feeling, putting something together and then like
people showing up.
People actually show up and actually like just give you the positive energy
part.
you're looking for. It's such a dope like vibe. Yeah. And the food box is like I like every Sunday when Sunday rolls around, me and my friend you talking about like you want to go to the food box and try to make the food box. I don't always just go with them. So usually I just show up by myself and get a plate and I'll dip. But I like it. Like I watch y'all's Instagram story and stuff like that, and I see other people I know who will go. Just stuff like that. This is the vibe of it. Y'all usually always playing music. Like it's a fun little vibe.
It's funny you say that because I was going back and forth with Chief today because he's not playing music. I was like, Chief, why you not playing music? He's like, nobody be listening to it. And so everybody confirmed that. I need to go back and turn the music on.
I remember when the first Drake album came out, and I listened to, or not the first Drake album, the newest Drake, Certified Lover Boy. When Certified Lover Boy came out, I listened to it. I didn't really like all of it, whatever. And I remember going to the food box that Sunday, and y'all were playing the album, and there was some song that played, and I was like, "Did I not hear this one? Like, I was like, did I miss this song? Like, I'm like, I like this song, and I'm like, I'm out here hearing it, like, really for the first time, just paying attention to it. I guess out here at the food box, and tell him to play the music.
Right. He be trying to look at the game on his phone. Like, he couldn't find apples, but we got to turn the music on.
Turn the music on. People, it's a nice little vibe. I missed the tables. You had the tables and chairs out there one day. And I mean, I guess now it's too cold for that, so I guess it makes sense. I didn't know we could eat inside either. I usually like leave.
So that's something new. Like it's something new. Well, I ain't gonna say it's something new, but it's something that I'm promoting now.
Okay.
Hey, y'all more than welcome
to go
to
eat inside and rock my style. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, I usually leave, and I remember
but most people though, it's kind of hard because it's like street food, so we don't have to-go boxes and stuff like that. So that's what we promoting. We want people to come and just chill and stay. But like if we ain't got nowhere for them to sit, then of course they're gonna grab and go. So we're working on getting it to like indoor and outdoor where people can like chill.
That was gonna be my next question too. Was y'all working on trying to get like an actual building and like a little actual restaurant, or did y'all want to just keep it like a food truck type of vibe?
I think for that it will probably be kept as a food truck. We might have new ideas to do like a restaurant storefront, but because of the type of food that it is, it's more like a street food. Yeah. So it's like we don't want to like invest too much into a building for that, but I do want that area to be more of a little hangout, Sunday fun day type thing.
And it definitely is. It already got that vibe, that little energy. I love it.
Do you have any other projects that you're working on?
I do. Well, I do, but I don't know what direction I want to go in right now. My thing is I want to be like community developer. So I want to own multiple businesses, and the people that live in the community are the same people that work in the community, the same people that shop in the community. So like employ people to do different jobs. And I really like working with, that's what I be trying to get people to understand is like, I know there's a need for the youth, but I feel like the 18 to 25 range are the most overlooked.
And we need to get them jobs so they stop shooting each other.
Right. Like, I feel like because we always saying like, oh, we need somebody for the youth. We need somebody for the youth. And I'd be like, y'all, that's not my lane. Yeah. Because I don't know how to interact with like
there's
children.
A lot of people who do it anyway. Like the type into the kid market.
I went and spoke at Carver and one time, and I was like, how many of y'all here want to be a barber? He was like, man, barbers don't make no money. And I was like, dang, I didn't know what to say. I was like, I'll make one. But I was just like, you know what? I don't think this is my lane. Yeah.
It's hard.
I think my lane for sure, and because I cut so many college students and stuff like that, I see the need for, that's like when you turn 18, I'm like, all right, you're going to figure it out. And they really need directions and for people to fill it out and people to get, and I'm not saying that I'm going to create a job that can be your career, but I can create a job that can like steer you in a direction of like what you want to do.
What you want to do.
And so that's what I want to do is like just have a team of young people that's like willing to get out here and work and get it and start their own businesses. And like, I can be like the blueprint. That's like the overall dream. So yeah, I want to own multiple businesses and just like help people, help them help me, and help the community to all like make it go around.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I don't know if this is exclusive, but
Oh.
I know that we were all working or like looking over their bid with City Center Waco for their building on Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like what did you gather from that? Did you think that was something that was going to positively affect the community, or how did you feel about it?
I definitely feel like it was something that was going to positively affect the community. I don't know what direction they're going in anymore, because City Center Waco is like a lot of people have left. Like a lot of people that work there, well, I should say everybody that worked there has moved on to do something else. So I don't know like who's staring that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm kind of lost. But I do know before everybody left, they got the Bridge Street off, and you know that seems to be a success. So we we took the food truck to the celebration for it, and that was a success. So I'm glad to see that happen. But that actual building, I'm not sure what they're going to do with it anymore.
And I think a lot of, like you said, the community development aspect of it, I was trying to figure out when I was reading it. I was like, this is a lot. Like, you know, because they asked us and we were like, this is a lot.
Yeah.
This is like a collaborative effort.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like, I don't even know what we're supposed to tell, but like, it was just like kind of a hub.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, but how do we fill this hub and what are we filling it with? And I think that's one of the things, like, I appreciate them for including all of us, but it's like, how is that going to help us help East Waco?
Right.
You know, and those types of things. So I know, like, we were all on that same page of like, okay, this seems great, but what's going to be the outcome of this, and how is it going to impact the people that live and work here?
Right. And I feel like it was going to be good. And me and one of my business partners had put up a plan together to try to help it get to where it was going to need to be. Then I kind of got nervous when I opened up the food box, because I thought the day that I opened up the food box that people were just going to flood to the food box all the time and it was going to thrive off the back. And then I was like, whoa, where everybody at? Where the people at? And so it was like me pulling teeth to get people to come. And now I'm gathering, you know, people, but even with barbering, even with my barbershop side, I've always had a lot more support from Baylor than I did from Waco. And I guess because I have a more connection with Baylor. And so even with the food box, that is who I see the most. And so it's like, okay, I want to do something for Waco.
It's hard.
But
yeah,
you know, and it's like, it's harder because you see while you're doing stuff, them saying we need stuff to do.
Yeah,
and it's like, hey,
I'm giving you stuff to do.
I'm over here,
why are y'all not
like,
showing up?
Yeah. And it's so that's kind of hard. But I mean, it's doable still.
Yeah.
You know, I think you just have to find people. And you know, they always say we see each other like, oh, we see the same people, but that's not true, because you can go to Walmart and you're going to see a billion people. You don't know everybody you see in Walmart or at the mall and stuff like that. So I think people need to just be open to meeting new people and getting to know new people, even if they don't, you know, went to the same school as you or you don't know them. Put down that guard of like, I don't know them, who is that? You know what I'm saying? And get to like know people, and you'll be surprised how much in common that you have with somebody that you never talked to before.
I thought it's the hard, I guess not a hard pill a hard pill I had to swallow was after the protests in 2020, when we did the first initial 2 events and like so many people showed up, and I was like, okay, cool, we got this like attention, this really like audience of people who want to see the same changes that we want to see. Like, okay, they're going to continue to show up and help push and stuff like that. And no, like the next like subsequent, the next subsequent events that we did, and we didn't get no real turnout, and people were like, you know, asking us when's the next event, when's the next event, and it's like, this wasn't something that just like was planned. Like we just did it because, you know, it needed to kind of be done in a sense. So Waco really likes to do stuff that's trendy. So you saying that, and
it's not even just Waco. It's a lot of places that you go.
In general.
But my thing is, what I've learned, you just got to get that core people, and once you like lock into those core like people, like you were saying, like I see you often at the food box, and there's a lot of people that I'm starting to see their faces more often, and I didn't know them before the food box. So it's just like when you started catering to those people, and then they start bringing people, it's like it might not be, when you write out the vision, it might not be the people that you see in the vision or wanted or were targeting, but when you see those people come, you start catering to those people, and it'll grow. It just takes time.
Yeah.
So it's just like, continue to do those things, even though nobody's showing up. You just got to just keep doing it until you find those people that fool with that, and then you just build a team off of that.
Right, and I think that's just universal. Like, not even with for-profit things, like even with the nonprofit, we do community outreach, and sometimes it's like, are y'all gonna come? It's free, and it's like we're giving you something, and people still sometimes don't show up. But it's like y'all say, like, you can't get discouraged. You just have to keep going, because what I've learned is no matter what you're doing, you have to find your niche, and you have to find the audience that you cater to.
Right.
And that's the hardest part of it all. Is like, who are we catering to? Like, what is our demographic, and what does that look like for us? But even in the times where the people are not showing up, it's like the dedication to the planning aspect of it, because you have to be constantly talking to people in the background planning. And like you said, like, people are always saying we need people to do this, and we're always like, well, okay. And the only time that I feel like we get to those spaces if somebody that we like created a relationship with, it's like, hey, I'm sending you this, hop on this. It's not the people from the city that are reaching out to us. They know who we are. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, because I've been places and they're like, oh, you're such and such. And I'm like, but how you know my name?
I was going to say that earlier, and it's crazy because you be in Walmart or the store, and they be like, oh, I see you. You know? Okay, well, I don't see you.
Yeah, like I don't know you.
Yeah. I found out a lot on Juneteenth. We were lining up for the parade. This lady walked up to us, and I was like,
my only instant like that was in 2020 after the protest, stuff like that. I think it was a night where I hate putters so much. I don't even know how I ended up there, but I had some friends that ended up dragging me to putters, and then like these couple of girls that stopped me and was like, "You're that protest guy, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess like that's what labeling me as, the protest guy. Sure, yeah, but." It's weird. Like it's weird, but it's cool. Like that. I've heard the quote that people are talking about you in a room that you haven't even entered yet. Something like that. Something to that effect. Right. And I like that. Like, cause how you mentioned how you want to see more people and stuff like that. But there's probably 10 to 15 people who want to come to the food box every Sunday, but for whatever reason they might not be able to make it out. Right. And it's like those people know about you. They know they know it's a thing. So they're trying and they're talking about it. And it's word of mouth is a super like powerful tool. Yeah.
And that's why I tell my friends, like, just come one time. Like, because I'll be looking at numbers for the year, not just every Sunday. So, like, even if I see your face one time, like, you good in my book. Like, I'm gonna scratch you off. Like, appreciate you. Like, I have, I was on my family members and all, and my aunties, my uncle, like, okay, we came. Yeah. Okay, just try it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all that. And then you want to come back. I can't. And so when I be harassing people to come to the food box, once they come, I take them off my harassing list. I just like, okay, next week, you still ain't came. You still ain't came.
What pushed you to start the food box in the first place? Like,
it was so the food box is my homeboy George Jackson. Him and his family started the food box in DFW. Okay. And so he wanted to upgrade to an actual truck because I have the trailer, and he wanted to upgrade to the truck. And he was like, "Man, I don't know what to do with the trailer. You think there's a spot in Waco that I can put it?" I was like, "Put it at the shop." Yeah. Me thinking I was Macho Man, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do both."
Yeah,
yeah. Jesus Christ! Oh my God, it's been 6 months, and it has been a journey. Shout out to Chief though. Chief is me and George's closest friends, and he pretty much put everything on his back. He stays behind the scenes. He don't like a parade. He don't like shout outs, nothing like that. But he truly works the hardest for the food box. And even though I'm the face in the forefront, is truly Chief who's like putting in majority of the work. And when I'm gone, he holds it down. Like right now, like he's holding it down. And Chief is not a vocal person, a person that, people see his face or hear his voice a lot. But shout out to him because he really just like carrying it right now.
That makes sense.
How do you incorporate community outreach into your business plans?
Do I? Yeah.
No, I know you do it. I said how.
How? I was like, do I? Like, I don't even like the actual. I ain't gonna say I don't. I need to stop saying that. Not that I don't like the actual work, the actual getting up and prepping and cutting hair, right? But it's the actual people in the business is what keeps me like going and keeps me thriving. And so like when I do like the back to school drives or the clothes giveaways or the toy. I didn't want to do the toys this year because I don't think kids play with toys no more. So I was just like, these toy drives, this is really not. And then people will go find the cheapest toy to donate just so they can say they donated, and nobody's really going to want to play with it. So I was just like, so this year I took a different approach, and I wanted to do something, and I wanted to even do more for Jeremy Davis with Mentor Waco, because I see, you know, what he's doing and I'm a fan of it. And again, I don't feel like that's my lane, but if I can help you in any way, I will. So what I did was I just did I just cleaned out my closet and I just sold it for like a little of nothing. So it was really helping on both sides, because it was like mothers coming in getting like brand new clothes that I ain't wore yet for dirt cheap. Right. So that was to help them. But then I took the money and donated to Mentor Waco. And so that was to help them. And so I just look at different ways, because the city has like blessed me a lot by supporting me in different things. So I want to continue to like give back so that it don't come across as like, oh, okay, we got him here, but you know, he didn't forget about us. So I try to think of different ways to always, you know, implement like the city and show up to different things that I can. I will say that I told myself to ease up, because I would try to do so much and show up to everything to show everybody support. But I was like, all right, Rocco, you got to, especially now that I got a fiance, I got to like scale back a little bit and like, you know, tap into my personal life a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a lesson we all have to learn. It's like you can't be at every event doing everything. And even I know like your church does outreach and stuff as well. I think y'all do like the food baskets and stuff. Yeah.
And you point to that earlier. It be times like you out there doing food drives, and people don't even show up. I'm like, y'all, this is free food. Y'all say y'all need food. Is it?
I think people feel ashamed, but I'm like,
I don't think it's shame. I think it's
my
just
granny would have went and got that
food. Lazy, right? I think it's truly laziness. I don't even think it's shame. I think it's truly laziness, because I'll just be like, just come and get it. Like,
yeah. And I think for like the back to school drives, I don't know if it's because I know at first, outside of people who do it, like the big name people, I think for the first year or two that we were doing it, it was only you. Then like last year, it was like 1 billion people, and I'm like,
for what?
For the back to school drives, and I was like, wow, okay. And like it was just, you know, it's no shade or anything, but I wish that
people just came together and did stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
That people would collaborate, because I sometimes feel like people feel like, you know, well, that looks established, and of course, like, you know, our nonprofit, we're still fairly young and still trying to figure it out, and people just assume that we have everything together and that we know everything, and I'm like, yeah, I don't even know the behind the scenes, but okay.
Right.
And I wish that it was more collaborations, because like we're always at your shop, you show up to our stuff, whatever, like if you have the time, and people don't know that. We're always with De'Viar, Black Sin, we're always with Jeremy. People don't know that, and it's like, we never, like, when it's us, it's never any competition, but then we're like all sitting together, or like, you know, doing a magazine or a photo shoot or something. We're like, you know what, we think those people think that we're competing with them, you know, and it feels that way, and we're just like,
my homegirl, she always like, I think she pay attention more than I do. They're like, they got this from you. You the blueprint. I think she had posted something was like, y'all need to tell Rocco Happy Father's Day next year or something like that, because y'all like. But I'm just like, I try not to pay attention to like, it was something that just happened recently though, and I'm trying not to, I ain't even gonna go there, but something happened recently. I was like, dang, really? You could have tried to like make it look
that's
different.
What happened to us last year, and we were like, okay.
Yeah, like, I ain't just gonna straight jack.
Because like you said, you try not to pay attention.
Yeah, but you didn't reach out, you didn't support, you didn't ask for advice, you just like legit said like, okay, you know, I'm gonna steal this.
Copy paste.
Yeah, copy paste. Yeah. Like, and I was like, bruh, but you know, I wish you the best.
Yeah.
Right. Because I mean, I told them on the episode they were recording earlier, like people try to imitate, but even when you try to imitate or you take inspiration, it's still gonna be different. It's not gonna be straight what you do, because nobody can do what Rocco can do, you know.
And that's true, because I'm not gonna sit here and say that I haven't seen something until I was like, oh, you know what, I want to do that. Yeah. 9 times out of 10 it's somebody who did it in Dallas and Houston and stuff like that. And I'm just like,
Somewhere
bro, I'm trying to do that in Waco. So can you show me how to
like
do
the rest of us?
Yeah.
And so like I definitely take inspiration and ideas and try to make them my own. Like you said, make them your own. Because I always try to do, like, even when I would do events, it was, time to get faded or rock to death or cut above the rest. I always try to implement like rock my style into what it is. So that's ways I make it my own. But some people do just literally copy and paste and try to do it themselves. But
we wish them the best.
It's
just kind of weird because I think in the aspect of us all being like doing community outreach, it's just like, okay, that's like a weird flex for you to
do the same thing, especially when the community outreach is the goal. So where's the community aspect of it?
It's not about competition. And I think, like you said, you've had the support of Baylor and not necessarily Waco.
No, never have.
I can count on one hand the officials from Waco that talk to all of us. It's probably the same people.
Yeah, and I always try to figure out what it is, but I mean, I really don't know.
It's something because it happens to all of us. I mean,
I really don't know. But I think, again, the best way to do it is not expect those people. Like I said, it's so many people in Waco that we don't know, that don't know us, that have never met us, never seen us.
Never heard of nothing we did. Yeah.
Nothing we did. And so for whatever reason that another person looks and say, oh, I'm not supporting that or I'm not going to that, like you can find somebody else who've never heard of you before. And you can get those people. So, and then when it really gets to popping, so when the food bots get to, I'm talking about jamming and popping every weekend, I ain't gonna have a place for people to park. And that's one thing people are like, I don't do fake love. I do fake love. If you coming to the food box to hate, to speculate, you are more than welcome to buy this pineapple. I take all the fake love I can get. You know what I mean? As long as you purchase this
buy
pineapple.
it and then get on social media and talk mess.
Talk
okay,
mess
you bought
about
it, so go ahead. Go ahead.
Because all publicity is good publicity. And so my thing is, I just like keep striving to like meet new people. Put myself in new businesses that open up. I try to support. Like I said, whether if I go one time, I try to go into support whoever's doing something because it's always networking. It's always networking. And the way I do it, I ain't even gonna lie, I got like a way that I do it. So I never go to nobody and say, hey, I'm Rocco, I cut hair, I'm a barber, or I own a food truck. We'll just have like a gradual conversation. I'll start a conversation or they'll start a conversation with me. And then I'll like throw it in there. And I was like, yeah, because at my barbershop, I had one guy that stopped at the barbershop. And they were like, oh, wait, you have a barbershop? I was like, oh, yeah, I have a barbershop. And I think it come across more natural.
Yeah.
Right.
They're more interested down than me saying like, hey, let me cut your hair.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of like, I got a barber.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But kind of little off-putting.
yeah. So I just kind of like, slide it in there in the middle of a conversation. And it always works for me.
Yeah. No, that's a good approach. I like that approach because there's some people that, let me get into the habit of thinking that people always want something from us.
Right.
So if you just jump right into the conversation, it made me rethink my whole little pitch when I'm asking people to like come onto the podcast. I'll start off, hey, I got a podcast. Because it sounds like you're kind of like fiending for like help or like, fiending for attention, fiending for the support. And it's like you don't ever want to, I don't know. So even if you are like for whatever reason desperate for like the help or the money or whatever,
I've been reading this
50
Cent book, and he has a whole chapter in there about perception. This is Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter.
I need to read it.
50 Cent talks about perception
and doing the stuff that he
must be saying business.
But no, he has a chapter that he talk about why he do what he do on social media.
He's a troll.
I fool with it now that I know the reason behind it. Before then, I didn't fool with it. Like, I was like, you a bully.
Because it pisses me off.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff
bro,
that he posts and it makes me mad.
And it was so funny because my mom had a dinner with 50 Cent and like she invited me. So at the time, I couldn't stand him. But I mean, it's still 50 Cent. So I was like, this
I'm
going to be a flex. So it's going to be a flex. So as I sat down in dinner and I had a talk with him. And, I didn't ask him why he was trolling and stuff like that. I just had like a legit conversation with him. And there was like so many things that like he did that he now talked about in the book. And I was like, oh my God, he did that on purpose. And like I do have a new like respect for him, although I still won't choose his way of doing business.
Yeah.
I just understand why he does.
He definitely
what
does it on purpose, and
yeah.
I don't know why people don't pick up on that. He
Yeah.
does everything.
Well, people
on
like
purpose.
drama and people like mess and people
Yeah.
like people
like being a part of it. You see the 50 Cent poster?
right.
Yeah.
And people fool with, and that's why I feel like even though they didn't fool with Donald Trump, he still had the most recognition and stuff like that. It's because people fool with people saying whatever they want to say. Like whatever come to mind, I'm going to say it off the top of my head with no consequences and stuff like that. And people like are drawn to that because at the end of the day, we want to do that. We just not crazy enough just to be like doing that because it can backfire on you.
Because I don't think I was ever offended. I actually said he should have been a comedian.
People felt empowered with him getting up there saying whatever he wanted to. It felt like, oh, my president's saying whatever he wants to. Bad. I'm gonna act out and say whatever I want to.
Right. Even though it's ignorant. And the same thing with 50 Cent. A lot of stuff he do and say is ignorant. But
real ignorant.
Now that I read why he did it, I do audiobooks. So now that I listen why he did it,
that's what I did.
Why. Yeah.
I ain't to read that book. I had a friend.
Yeah, but it's about perception and it's about like you got to come across like as if you don't need. That's what they say even with going to the bank. Like the best time to borrow money is when you don't need to borrow money.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, you need to get the most money in your account and then go to the bank and say, yeah, I want to do this for an investment. But if you go in there in the negatives and say you need to borrow some money, they're going to be like.
No collateral.
Yeah, it's about perception. People willing to help you when you don't need it. And that's like I said, when things get popping, when the wave gets going, everybody want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So weird.
But that's why you just got to get you a small team. And I told my homegirl Tony, because she helped me out with a lot of, my business ideas and stuff like that. And even with the food box, I say, look, we just need to get a solid 10. We need to get a solid 10 people to come to the food box every Sunday and let's just chill at the shop and take pictures. And people going to want to like, what they doing over there? Why y'all ain't invite me? Why I wasn't a part of this? Why? I say, so at this point, I'm not even going to promote no more. I'm just going to get us a small 10 people. We're going to do stuff and we're going to post it.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, people going to be like, oh, can we?
What is that? Yeah.
But when we say like, hey, come, anybody come.
I think y'all put me on.
We went after the photo shoot for Boston Waco.
Yeah, they're like,
y'all know I lit up because y'all came like funeral procession. Like I said, Chief, look at all these cars. Chief, look at all these cars. Y'all pulled up deep. Y'all like 6 cars deep. I hurried up and pulled my camera out.
Yeah.
We still use that video to this day.
That's hilarious.
I had thought about that when we had asked you to come on. I was like, how did I even like get exposed to Rocco? And I was like, I remember hearing that he was a barber. Mm-hmm. And then after the Lost in Waco the photo shoot, they were like, we were hungry, we want to go eat.
Down the street.
Yeah, and I was like, what is a food box? And then I'm like, what is a food? We never heard the food box before, and then we went, and I was like, they got what? Like, I was like, yeah, I want to, let's go eat.
Y'all had me extremely happy on those days. I think our biggest days was 1, our grand opening, and 2, my birthday. Okay. And so when you have days like that where it's nothing going on and it's like it's a line, it's like, oh, we got a line.
Yeah.
Chief, get that.
Kind
we
of
got a line.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's good.
That's cool. You don't get to the point where you hate the line.
I already don't. It's like it's a double feel. It's a bittersweet because it's like a part of me knows that now it's better because I got more help. But a part of me wants to go out and mingle with the line. But at the same time, I got to make sure your orders are getting ready. So it's like, I really can't go out there and talk to people and tell them appreciate it, stuff like that, because I'm on here making the food. And so now that I have better help, it's like, I should say more help, not better help, more help. Now I can get off the truck and, go socialize and stuff like that.
Network.
And I think that's what my goal is this year, is to sell more of an experience than like food.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's all about. People want to come hang it out and be a part of the
mix, a part of something.
And then you can get food while you're there.
It really is.
The food still need to taste good.
And it does. No, it's such a dope vibe. I look forward to it every Sunday. I'm like, the food box is gonna be open. Yeah. Gotta run over there. Mike gonna be like in a few minutes. I'm up 2:00 here. Okay,
I have a question though. Okay, so and this can be the last question. If you have any advice to give anybody that's looking to become an entrepreneur, since you're not just a barber, just own a food truck, and you're looking to invest in different types of investments, what advice would you give an up and coming entrepreneur?
I think the best advice is pretty much circling about what I've said like a lot already. And that's just stop expecting the people that you know to be the ones to support, and get your feelings out of it. So if your best friend don't show up every Sunday, it is okay. If your best friend doesn't share your post, it is okay. That doesn't make them less of a friend. I feel like we have different, I think with relationships, people hold a different value, and you don't want to like get in friendships that will be the person that you can talk to when your grandma passed, just because like they're not a Sunday person that like to get out every Sunday, and come to the food box. And so it's like, get your feelings out of it and find the people for the business that it is. So if you're selling a t-shirt, find people that are into buying t-shirts and market them. Like, your best friend might like collar shirts. They might not like t-shirts. So don't put, because I feel like that's what happens is we start something and then we have our vision in our mind of who's all going to support that. And then we put it out and those people don't support it. But then you find strangers who like support it. And so then you start feeling like these strangers are better friends than your actual friends. When truth is that product is what they are into. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So just like when you're starting a business, like get your feelings out of it, get your business mindset and figure out what it is that, people want and find those people to like support it. And you'd be good.
No, that makes sense.
Find your niche.
Find
your niche.
Find what you can
and when you find, but that still stays the same, because even when you find your niche might not be your cousin's niche, and your the people they might not be into listening to podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you can't get mad at them because that's not what they into. Because I got a cousin that rap and I'm not into rap, so
you don't listen to his music.
Yeah, I don't listen to his music, but I would
still root for him. Or something
I would root for
you.
I would share. I would maybe even buy a mixtape. Not saying I'm gonna listen to it.
I was about to say,
but I'll buy it.
But I'm gonna buy it. And so that I don't feel like that makes me less of a cousin.
Nah,
you know what I mean? But then he got fans out here that show up to his shows and know his words and stuff like that. And so it's like you just gotta find those people and just keep trucking. Don't give up. Just because the people that you want to support it don't. Nobody supported me being a barber when I told them I didn't want to go to college. Mm-hmm. Just like that Carver student said, barbers don't make no money. Like that's what you. And now, like anything that I do barber related, I can just post a picture in the barber chair. My whole family gonna share it. Say, I'm so proud of you. Right. But I don't look back on them. It's like, oh no, y'all didn't believe in me. It's like God didn't give him that vision.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so you can't expect people to see the vision that God gave you.
Yeah. It's beautiful. No, before we close out, you got your handles, your little ads. Where can everybody find you and stuff like that?
Okay, so you got. I need to change this, but it's Instagram is what I care about the most. Yeah. So that's Rocco. That's ROCKO _DA _Barber, and then of course Instagram and Facebook at the Food Box Waco, and so. Instagram is what I care about the most. So that's where y'all can follow me at. And then if y'all want the other stuff, inbox me on Instagram. And I'll give you the Facebook and the Twitter and the Snapchat. And I still ain't got on TikTok yet, but I feel like I'm
just
behind,
downloaded TikTok 2 days ago.
To get with the program because I ain't on it yet, but I think I'm about to surrender.
You ain't missing nothing yet. I downloaded literally 2 days ago and I barely get on it.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool, I guess.
Oh, I almost forgot our handles. As always, we can be found on Instagram as Stories of the Streets _ Facebook Stories of the Streets, and we can be emailed as Stories of the THA Streets @gmail.com.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.